Well, hello, and welcome back. It's Friday and we are on part 2 of our Journal Monthly, where we're making the letter rack journal. Yeah, so we did most of the front last week and the back. That's all we did really. Now all the bits that are in our letter rack so far have been glued down. Now we want some interactive pieces that we can pull in and out, don't we? So I've got a sheet of card. I've still got the remains of the kit from the lovely Amanda over at Scrimping Mummy. Again, this is not all the kit, it's just left of what I printed for last week. There are loads more pages. I'll put a link to the kit in the description in case anybody wants it. Now I'm thinking for my interactive pieces I would like a tag, a standard sort of angled postage tag, probably a cabinet card and maybe an invoice or postcard. Right, so what have we got? I don't particularly like this postcard because it's got flowers on it. I don't want that one. These are very, very plain. They haven't got any writing on, so I'm not sure. This is a very nice invoice. We're definitely going to have that. So we're going to have an invoice. Sorry, I've pulled them off screen now, haven't I? I'm naughty. This would be great if you wanted to write your own information on. That's more invoices. Oh, we've got some layaway tags here. So I'm going to use the smaller one of those and that invoice. And then, whoops. Oh, we've got a library card there. But we do want a picture, don't we? We definitely want a picture. We want one of the larger ones. So I think this is the largest one on here. Although this is nice of the little boy. And you can see how the picture's been stuck on crooked. Love that. I think we go for that one. Right, so that's our 3 items. Whoops, as a bit of a plan for today. So let's get these cut out and see how we get on. So how are you? What have you been up to? Are you all well over summer now and back into normal routine? Children have gone back to school. Life is starting to make its way to Christmas now, isn't it? I always think once the children are back at school from the summer holidays, it starts, you know, to feel a bit like Christmas. I know there's lots of stuff in the shops already that's Christmas orientated. So, whoops. People are starting to think about the types of gifts they'd want to be buying and how much they need to consider. I need to punch that hole. How much they need to consider, you know, their budget and everything. I think we're having a very quiet one this year. I don't know why I'm talking to you about Christmas, because it's about 900 degrees outside. I've just come back from getting the food shop and it's ridiculous. There you go, we've got our hole that was already there. So I'm going to move my coffee, get my dirty mat, and we'll have a little bit of coloration on here. And we'll do the famous screw it up, unscrew it, and then our ink's going to pick up all them pieces. You've seen me do this loads of times. There's nothing new here really. This is much more of a craft along than a tutorial. Although we are working on the September monthly journal, there's nothing brand new here. Oh, there's obviously some wet glue on there, isn't there? Shall we turn this over? Oh, look at it, it's disgusting. Oh well. I've turned it over now and you've seen it. There's not a lot I can do about it, is there? One of the things I do like though, when you pick up a random bit of glue, is look how it changes the coloration, so that's quite nice. Okay, so we've got that one. And I think I'm going to fold it there and there. And then we can get some ink lines down there, like that. Okay. And then this is going to be an interactive freestanding one that sits there like that. I'm going to cut out my little boy. Cannot believe, seriously, and I know I used to laugh at my mum and my nan when they said this, but I can't believe how the year is just racing away. And also how weird the weather is, to be honest with you. I mean, it's the middle of September, it should be nice, cool walking weather right now, and yet it's boiling hot. That's why you can hear the noise of the fan in the background. It's a little bit round the edge. Now, I think, because obviously we want some support for this, I'm going to put that on my card. And while we're gluing onto the card, let's pull out also our smallest layaway tag. Like so. And obviously, if you're not using this kit, you could be cutting yourself a standard tag. Those of you that have been here a while know that my desired tag tends to be 3x6. So we're on paper to paper, so we'll use our purple glue. So, weekend again, what are you up to? Got plans? Going out somewhere nice, use up the last of the good weather? Or are you sadly working? Right, so that's that one. And then our little photo. And obviously, I mean, I talked about doing these three. Oh, look, that fits up there. That's good. Getting the most of out of our card that way, aren't we? I talked about doing three. You can do as many as you like. In fact, should we have a library card? I think that's... oh, another nice thing that's unlikely to have been found in this letter rack, isn't it? And actually, is it such an old-fashioned thing, or do you still have a letter rack? I mean, I know our letter rack is basically a drawer in the kitchen. How many of you have got? Boo, Mummy's doing a video, thank you. Sorry about that. How many of you got one of those kitchen drawers, you know? It's got, well, everything in it really, hasn't it? It's got half a packet of batteries. letters that you mustn't throw away. Might have a prescription. If you're one of these people that has a monthly repeat prescription, you might have a prescription in there. All those things that you mustn't lose. I mean, ours hasn't got any, but I remember years ago my mum had, well, my mum and dad had a drawer, and there'd always be an odd pencil in there, or a felt tip that didn't really work, a stray box of matches, maybe some of that fuse wire. Do you remember that fuse wire? Looked like sort of cotton on a bit of cardboard. All those stray things. An old button maybe. They're all the things that are in that sort of drawer, aren't they? So if you've recovered from the mini heart attack that Boo just gave you, I do apologise. Leave me a note in the comments. Have you got a letter rack? Or are you like us? Have you got a kitchen drawer? I know there was a sketch that, what's his name? Michael McIntyre did a little while ago. Well, it's probably years ago now, but and he called it the man drawer. I remember, it's very funny. You mustn't mess with the man drawer. Again, is there a man drawer in your house? There isn't a man drawer in our house. There's a man shed that you don't go in for fear of losing your life, really. But yeah, there's a man shed. Or is it a female shed? Is it a female craft shed? I know. Oh look, now I've really messed that up, haven't I? Oh, mind you, it's vintage, so I think it might be time for a new blade in this knife. I know even Preston, she's got a craft shed, hasn't she? She does all her crafting from a shed in the garden. So, maybe you've got a female shed rather than a man shed. Maybe you have no shed at all. Why am I waffling on about sheds? Oh my goodness. Anyway, as you can see, I'm just merrily making a hash up of cutting these out. But they have now got a nice card back, so they are a little bit more robust. And this is that same white craft card that I talk to you about all the time. Comes from the Works. I believe there's 15 or 20 pieces, I can't remember exactly now, and it's just £1 a pack. So to me, it's, you know, it's ridiculously cheap. You can afford to use it all the time without guilt. That's hubby having a little cough. Those of you that were around late last week know that he's off work poorly. And I've got to be honest and say, he was obviously more, although it's, I say only, although it's only a chest infection, he was obviously more poorly than we thought he was, because we are 4 or 5 days, I can't remember exactly now, into the penicillin, and realistically it's no better. So although he is better in as much as he's managing to stay awake the whole day now rather than being in bed. So I don't know. Anyway, whatever, right? These things are all sent to try us. Try us they will. What is it they say? That doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Oh, I'm super strong, me. Right, let's get this inked up. So I just really want to ink the edges. I want to ink the whole thing. And also, you know, when you ink, this is something else. When you ink, I see people doing dead straight lines. Well, age and dirt collected over time does not settle in dead straight lines. It settles in the places that it's really handled. So on the corners and on the edges, and maybe an odd bit in the middle. Yeah? Just when you're doing these things, try and put a little bit of thought into how it would be. It's like when you make a flower. Nature doesn't work in even numbers. Flowers always have an odd number of petals. So if you're going for something lifelike, then consider, you know, odd numbers. Okay, now how can I save this? Can I save this? Yes, I can. Can we fix it, Bob? Yes, we can. Oh my goodness, I really have lost my marbles now, haven't I? I need to get out. Right, so we've got this little picture. Again, you can't see everything properly. That's why you want to pull it all in and out and make it interactive, which is brilliant. This one needs to go at the back, and then this one is going to go at the back as well. And then you see as you pull them out, you see what's behind. You've got lots of layers, and it just looks lovely. You could decide if you want to put something on the front. I mean, on my original one, I did use one of these Tim Holtz frames just because I had them. I mean, you could easily make a different type of frame if you wanted a frame on there, or you could maybe just put like a label. See, like one of these labels, maybe stamp a number in it or something. Oh, Amanda's already done those ones for us. What other small bits have we got in here? I think rather than, you know, tickets or things, we really want or stamps, we really want like a label. So I think because it's got the orangey red, I'm going to go with this one. I'm just going to pop that on the front there. I mean, if you've got some craft card, you could maybe cut a plaque. Or if you've got some of those little brass plaques or whatever, you know, you could put them on. Whatever really. But I'm just going to put this one. And I think it's going to be like so many things in my workplace that it's a label that's never been filled in. I've got loads of boxes that have got labels on them so you could write what's in them, so you don't have to rifle through the box. Do I do it? Of course I don't. I rifle through the box every time and realise it's not the box I wanted. Okay, so I'm happy that that is my letter rack done. What I need to do now is consider what I'm going to put inside, and obviously these stuck down pieces, they are just flimsy paper, so they need strengthening. So this is the point where we look at other things that we want to put inside to strengthen it up. And this is where, in this kit that I'm using, these little pieces are perfect. So when you've got these, now again, you could use anything. You could put more tags on here. If you've got CD cases, you could put a CD case. I mean, what did I do on this one? Let's have a little look. See, on this one, I just put an assortment of papers. So you can put anything, really, that you want on there. Obviously, it's your project. but I'm going to use this assortment of mini invoices. Should have put the light on, shouldn't I? It's a bit dark in here. How it can be dark when it's so warm. But anyway, I'm sure we can manage, because the other thing is sometimes when you get the light on you get a bit of glare, don't you? So and then if we lay these across here, we're going to strengthen these ones. Yeah, so there's that one. That's the idea that I'm going for. So that one will sit there. This one will sit maybe more that way, and take most of that, and then we'll put something else there. So let's glue this. So we want to cover as much of that as we can, because that gives us that extra strength that we need, because these are going to get, see, it's much better already. They're going to get moved around a lot, aren't they, and sort of bent and buckled as we use them, so that's good. And then this one, and then we just need that one down the middle, and of course that's where we're going to use that one. So, and then because it all looks a little bit odd at the bottom, I'm going to make a pocket. So again, we can actually put something into the pocket, and then that will be our front cover finished. So that is probably where we will end for today. And then next Friday when I come back, we'll decorate the back cover, and then we can spend the rest of our time doing a pretty inside. Glue everywhere as usual. You all know, you know, occupation hazard for me. Right, so that's now strengthened that up. That's lovely. So our pocket now. Do we want to? Oops. Oh, let's have some coffee. Do we want to finish the bottom with another invoice, keep it all invoicey, or do we want to maybe use one of these order forms? No, I like this one. So I'm going to cut this out. Boo, you can hear panting. I mean, she pants all the time, but it is an indication of how warm it is in here, that's for sure. And yet I've got the back door wide open, I've got the front window behind me open. There's 2 fans going in the room. And it's still too flaming hot. What's that song? I need to go where the weather suits my clothes. And my favourite clothes are jumpers. So, I need to move to Alaska or the likes, don't I? Oh, can you imagine living with all that snow? Oh, how wonderful. Anyway, I'm just waffling now. Shut up, Claire. So, I've got our pocket. And I want it to go this side because I want it to be on top of that fabric as much as we can. And if we go a little bit higher, so about there, so we can see all of that writing. Yeah, I'm going to do it double because it's going to, in fact I'm going to fold the whole thing in like that. So it could be a double pocket then, can't it? So what we're going to do is we're going to glue this down. I know, I'm on my man. Do that down like that. Boo! Boo! I'm so sorry, that's because some child has just ridden up the road screaming on a bike. You probably heard it. What is it they say? Never work with children and animals. Well, there you go. Never work with children and animals, because that's what happens. They make noise when you're not expecting it. Okay. Now, that's our front, which feels a little bit flimsy. So what we need to do is we need to add something on there to strengthen it up a little bit for us, and it's going to sit there like that, so it's on top of there, more this side, and we're going to have a double pocket, but I want to strengthen that up. So I'm going to undo that pocket. I'm going to find a bit of coffee dyed paper. I'm going to pop that on there. Like that. We're going to cut that down and trim it where it went slightly over the edge. I'm going to take out a hole punch and punch out one. I'm not going to get to that one, am I? That's annoying. 3. I mean 2. I'm not going to get to that third one, am I? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cheat, and I'm going to take my awl and I'm going to just poke it through and swivel it around a little bit. There we go, and there's our hole. And then we can just push those on the back. Got a little bit of ink around it, because you see again, that's where the wear and tear would be. Now we can glue our pocket back up. Like so. There we go. And it's all realistic again because it's got its holes in it. I'm going to glue down this side, across the bottom. I mean, you know how to make a pocket, and up that side, and then that is going to sit there like. And I mean, obviously I haven't made anything to go in there as yet, but just for demonstration purposes, you can then put that one to the back, and that one to the front, so you've got double pocket. Look, because you can actually see the photo through that stamped hole. There you go. So that is our front cover now complete. And as I say, when I come back next Friday, we'll work on this back cover because it needs more strength. And then for the rest of our monthly time, we can do the insides. As always, I'd like to say a huge thank you for joining me today. Stay safe. I'll see you very soon. Ta-ta for now.